Ladies and gentlemen, please take this time to find your seats and silence all electronic devices. The ceremony will begin shortly.
Squadron! Fall in! Hurry! Pass!
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Change of Command ceremony for the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron. I am Technical Sergeant Jean-René Mansell-Dakianan, and I will be your narrator for today's event. On behalf of Commander Space Launch Delta 30, Colonel Mark Shoemaker, we would like to thank you for attending today's ceremony, as Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Killian will transfer command of the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron to Lieutenant Colonel Jeremiah Alefosio. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the playing of our national anthem, military members in uniform should stand at attention, and personnel in military attire should place their right hand over their hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the playing of the national anthem, and the invocation.
Squadron! Hut!
Present the colors.
Colors. Okay, hot.
Gracious and loving God, we come to you seeking your blessings upon the 30th LRS family as we all witness the passing of the mantle of leadership from Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Killian to Lieutenant Colonel Jeremiah Alifosil. Your providence has brought these two wonderful leaders to this significant moment in their lives and the lives of their families. Lord, under your divine care and protection, Colonel Killian has been a true leader and wingman within the LRS family. As commander, he has used the many gifts and talents you bestowed upon him to serve this squadron so that it can faithfully live up to its vision. Pour out your abundant blessings upon Joshua and Monique as they seek to create time for much-needed rest and relaxation. May your blessings and protection always be with them, as well as their daughter Samantha, son Drew, and granddaughter Annabelle. Lord, we thank you for bringing Colonel Alifosil as the new commander of this squadron. Pour out your blessings upon him and his family, his wife Janelle, and children Jake, Joshua, and Jason, as we welcome them to Vandenberg. As he assumes his role as commander of the 30th LRS, give him the wisdom, guidance, and courage he needs to make decisions. May he always strive to assist every member of this unit to grow and develop so that this squadron will continue to serve its mission. We make our prayer in your holy, mighty name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Vandenberg Honor Guard Major Derek Perry, for that wonderful rendition of our national anthem. And thank you, Chaplain Achidi, for those inspiring words. We would like to recognize our distinguished guests. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been made. We are honored to have in attendance Commander, Space Launch Delta 30, Colonel Mark Shoemaker and his wife Mary, Lieutenant Colonel Alifosil's wife Janelle, and their children Jake, Josh, and JC, Lieutenant Colonel Killian's wife Monique, their children Samantha and Drew, and their granddaughter Annabelle, Vice Commander, Space Launch Delta 30, Colonel Mike Jewell's wife Christy, Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Deputy Chiefs of Operation Nuclear and Cyber, Chief Master Sergeant Tina Timmerman, and her husband Sergeant Major, U.S. Army retired Darren Timmerman, Senior Enlisted Airman Space Launch Delta 30, Chief Master Sergeant Malcolm Summers, and his wife Amy. We would also like to welcome all group and squadron commanders, colonels, directors, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants, family members, friends, and the men and women of Team Vandenberg in attendance today. Thank you for coming. Today's event is a time-honored tradition and will formally recognize Lieutenant Colonel Jeremiah Alifosil as the new commander of the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron. History reveals that in ancient times, soldiers in field often didn't know or recognize their commanders. Roman legions would often signify the right of command with the passing of a baton, while other military cultures would symbolize leadership through hoisted flags or sigils. It wasn't until the Middle Ages that this transfer of authority was finally structured into formal ceremony. Finally, in the 18th century, the Continental Army conducted the first change of command in the United States, just as it has been in the past. The formal change of command allows troops to witness the actual transfer of command between two officers and see their new commander firsthand. The change of command also adds color and pageantry to military life, preserves tradition, and stimulates esprit de corps. It is my great pleasure to introduce our presiding official for today's ceremony, Commander, Space Launch Delta 30, Colonel Mark Shoemaker.
Good morning, everybody. It's probably the most dangerous thing I've done all week is walk up those stairs. So thanks to everybody for being here. It's a pretty big day for the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron. the outgoing commander, Lieutenant Colonel Killian, and for the inbound commander, Lieutenant Colonel Alfazio, all the families, and a big welcome to the men and women of the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron. Before going any further, just look at the setup here. This is not a trivial activity. So thanks to everybody for putting that together. Let's give everybody a round of applause. And Major, if you can please put your formation at ease.
Squadron, hut! At ease!
So it's a big day big day of 2 days in a row for Josh and Monique and their children, Samantha and Drew, and granddaughter Annabelle. It's been nice to get to meet you and see you and shake Annabelle's hand when I was like, who is this little kid? She was very forthcoming with that. Command experience is felt all day, all night, all week, all month, all year for 3 years by the commander and by the family. So, Monique, specifically to you, thank you for your support to Josh and the unit. Thanks for loaning him to us at Space Launch Delta 30 for the past 3 years. We're going to give him back now. Your efforts with the HALO program, Mo, your broader efforts with the Spouses Club and the Key Sport Liaison program, and just general camaraderie and connection. I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you for the friendship, and thank you for the partnership with our broader SLD 30 command team activities that made a lasting mark here at Vandenberg. Welcome to Jerry and Janelle, and welcome to Jake, Josh, and Jace. It's great to be back in the States, right? 7 years away. Some never lived here, right? Or at least remember here. It's glad to the boys have access to Walmart and Target and all those things that we perhaps take for granted. But seriously, we're really thrilled to have you, all 5 of you, here with us to be part of this family and all the amazing things that we do here at Space Launch Delta 30 in Vandenberg Space Force Base. Now, Josh, I'm not trying to make this like there's part of this script that you can probably give by memory. This is the 9th change of command I've done this summer, and I think you've been to most, if not all of them. But I want to thank you sincerely for your unwavering commitment for 3 years. In the time that we've worked together, you've demonstrated incredible dedication and commitment to the growth and well-being of your squadron, always putting people at the forefront with Family First programs and the Holistic Airman Lifestyle Operation HALO. Under your tenure, the squadron has not only achieved operational excellence, but has also become a beacon of personal and professional development for our airmen. Your focus and care has allowed the squadron to reach new heights, ensuring our mission success while fostering a culture of collaboration and development. Collaboration within your team and collaboration across the broader organization. I know you're proud of them and their achievements during your tenure. And I know you'd say it wasn't you, it was them, but it was a little you. This team accomplished some remarkable feats under your leadership. I'm just going to share a few. You oversaw 4,000 repairs on the Space Force's largest fleet, 635 vehicles worth $86 million with an impressive 96% capability rate. Led the Department of the Air Force's second largest host tenant support agreements portfolio, managing 182 agreements valued at $78 million, and coordinating with 114 subject matter experts to support 52 tenant organizations and secure $36 million in reimbursements for Space Launch Delta 30. Processed and validated 4,000 transportation requests, including 131 Delta Protocol requests to transport 1,200 passengers and distinguished visitors. You issued 648 mobility gear assets worth $76,000 and executed a 5-vehicle convoy to transport 82 airmen and 2,500 pounds of cargo over 400 miles to March Air Reserve Base, establishing, I think that's round trip, unless you took a really circuitous 400-mile route to March Air Reserve Base, establishing 129 locations and increasing 33% storage capacity to streamline the issue procedures for 85 deployers supporting 3 combatant commands, and issued over 348,000 gallons of Jet A fuel across 132 missions, including direct support for United States Air Force Weapons School Agile Combat Employment Exercise, where they provided 91,000 gallons of Jet A fuel in 3 days to 3 KC-135 refuelers. These efforts have been nothing short of outstanding. Josh, you've done a wonderful job leading your team with care and compassion to your tenure. And I also want to thank you for your peer leadership as a squadron commander amongst your squadron commander collaborators in LCD 30. Your approach to challenges, to problem solving, and morale building infected, in a good way, of all the other units. And I need to pause now because it didn't dawn on me until your comments yesterday that you too, just like Nick and a couple others, took command right smack in the middle of the deepest of the COVID environment. And so leading through that, thank you for leading through that. As we transition to new leadership, we carry forward the invaluable lessons and capabilities that you've put in place. So thank you from me to you for your leadership, Josh. Now, Jerry, we're excited to bring you on board here at Space Launch Delta 30 to the Hawks and to the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron. As you just heard, your squadron plays a crucial role in our mission. And I was thinking also just a little bit ago that it was about a year ago, maybe even just a little over a year ago, that we talked on the phone and I interviewed for this job. So I've known for a year that you were the person that needed to be in this position. It's great to have you here physically. All right, for the rest of this, Josh, do you want to come up and give it by memory? Okay. So you've heard it 8 times, maybe. But Jerry, here's my task to all commanders who work for me. Build relationships with your fellow squadron commanders, both in Space Launch Delta 30 and across our mission partners on the base. You'll depend on them and they'll depend on you. It's remarkable to witness the strength of this Delta when squadron commanders collaborate to tackle challenges, and when they instill that same approach to collaboration amongst their senior leadership team and everyone that works for them. Very rarely is there a problem unique to a single squadron or solvable by a single squadron. Mission success is rooted in the partnerships that you're going to build and sustain. Keep all of that in mind, and I have no doubt that we'll continue to deliver mission success and build out innovative and adaptive ways to solve the problems that I know will face us. We have much work to do, and I'm confident in your ability to lead this exceptional unit. So I'll end my comments with a quote from Simon Sinek, author of Start With Why. Leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in your charge. Jerry, as you step into this role, may you continue to prioritize the development of your team, keeping their growth at the forefront of your mission. Recognize that operations at our spaceport are moving at a fast pace, support requirements for our installation partners are demanding, and the changing nature of deploying airmen and guardians will ask a lot of you and your team. Keep a keen eye out for the unique challenges you and your team will face. I guarantee those challenges are going to come. Promote an environment where every airman has the opportunity to excel and meet challenges head-on to drive the mission forward. You're about to take command of an exceptional group of people. Stay committed to fostering the strengths of this unit, and I know you will all continue to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Shoemaker. It is my pleasure to introduce Commander, 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Killian.
All right, thanks everybody for coming. Colonel Shoemaker, thanks for being here, of course. Thanks for all those kind words. It's great working with you over the last year that we've had together, and I'll certainly miss that leadership piece as well too. So thank you very much to you and Mary both for being a part of our lives. Christy as well, thanks for being here as well. Colonel Hatcher, for stepping in. Chief Summers, thanks for coming as well. And then what a great job by the team that put this together. That national anthem, when they first told me about it, I was like, but I don't know who Major Derek Perry is. And they said, sir, just trust us. And man, they got that one right. So Major Perry, if you're still out there, thank you very much. That was great. And to Lieutenant Tran, Senior Airman Patterson, Tech Sergeant Select Landgraf, is back there with the whole protocol team. Everybody, Banks, Ross, I see you all standing back there and put this together. Major Ravana for stepping in for the formation. This is a great event, and it couldn't happen with all of you coming together to make it happen. So thank you very much. I will tell you, Squadron Command is the best job in the Air Force. And I've heard that in my entire career, and I've heard it hundreds of times. But I never truly understood why it was certainly one of the most challenging jobs in the Air Force as well. There are times when you'll go through a day where you hit the ultimate high, celebrating something like an OTS selection or a promotion, and then you have to do the other part of the job, which might be issuing an Article 15 or UCMJ, and that can happen within a course of 8 to 10 hours. It's one of the craziest things ever, and in that, you're still just trying to keep at the forefront all that you need to maintain for Air Force standards going forward and what's in the best interest of the Air Force. But the real best part about being a squadron commander is you are perfectly positioned to influence to a maximum degree both the mission priorities and the culture of the organization to a point where you can get after it at a personal level. And that's what I've been able to do for the last 3 years, because when I look out on this audience, I see the stories behind every single one of you and the stories that we've shared for all the airmen that have come into this organization. I know most of the team kind of makes fun of the birthday cards. I don't know if you're making fun of them or you actually enjoy them, but I sign out birthday cards to every single one of you. That's because I'm terrible with names, okay? And we have 65 civilians or so, and I kept screwing up the civilians' names. And I was like, I need a system that would actually help me so I don't keep doing this, because I can't make them wear name tags. So I was like, all right, we're going to pass out birthday cards for every individual in this squadron. But in doing so, what I got to do was spend a little bit of time with each and every one of you, and it's been amazing. So for all those different times that we've had together, those are the things that I'll take away. But we were able to do a lot with the mission as well, and that was huge. Coming into 2021, the first thing I remember is we had a lot of folks downrange when we were starting to do the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and they immediately, folks from this squadron were immediately caught up at IUD and the refugee crisis that soon followed. But you all handled it exceptionally well. On top of that, you handled the P-23 rebuild. I thought it was a joke when Mr. Gates had it back out here 2 days ago, so I asked him to please return that back to CE. I'm not talking to the boss about the P-23 on my last 2 days. And whatever they did, they fixed it and it's back at the flight line, so I appreciate that as well too. You made specialized crates for missile umbilical training aids and all those things as well down at TMO. Exceptional support for household goods shipments, countless DB trips to include the Vice President coming here to Vandenberg, as well as supporting POTUS in other regional areas around California. 100% NWRM success and accountability for all those assets. You handled the Mark 21 debris. Well done, Lieutenant Tran. Getting that out of here is like one of my final tasks for Lieutenant Tran. You did a great job getting it done. You processed the first deployable cargo UTC in 5 years that sent capability down to Indo-PACOM. And in the worst of times, when we lost one of our own, you came together as a team and honored his service and showed his family what it meant to be a member of the United States Air Force and an airman. That was phenomenal. But you also helped to improve the culture of the organization as well. We took this idea of the HALO program and grew it into what it is today. With the Family First program tied in, we were all about taking care of each other. And that's what you did. We helped to develop airmen along the way. You put together 2 different unit sports days, 2 combat dining in events, numerous promotion ceremonies. We got to see folks go off to special duty assignments like MTLs and MTIs, doing those different jobs. We had 3 folks that were selected for a commissioning program out of this squadron in the last 3 years, and I'm hoping for one more here soon. We'll see how the news comes, but looking forward to that as well. We sent 2 master sergeants off to be first sergeants, and we had 37 Delta level award winners, 14 MAGCOM awards, 10 U.S. Space Force awards, including the 2023 LRS of the Year, and 2 of our folks won at the Department of the Air Force level, which is absolutely incredible for this team. Every time I look back on that, I think we've read that line, those kind of awards for the last 2 days, 3 different times, and it still amazes me of what you accomplished in the last 3 years. I want to give a special thanks to a couple folks, the base support agencies, whether it's the Hawks Cove, EO, the chaplain's office, the whole team. Medical group came in, OST came in. They were an instrumental part of what it meant to build the culture within LRS, and they were absolutely phenomenal in their dedication to our airmen. As well as all the other squadron commanders I've been able to work with over my time here. I absolutely believe exactly what Colonel Shoemaker said. You solve problems at the squadron commander level by having that communication early and often. And I would highly encourage you to find a way to make sure that continues. To the civilian flight chiefs and leaders within the squadron, Bill Sorrell, Daryl Christopher, Darren Bettis, Brina Cervantes, Donnie Coles, Dan Martinez, Scott Schneider, Lee Cervantes, Keith Madison, so many others that stepped up and just are the true professionals and always had kind of the recommendations on what the right thing was to do next. You were a cornerstone in my time here in the LRS, and I thank you very much for all your service as well. To all 6 first sergeants that either came through the office up front there or were grown here naturally. So for Senior Master Sergeant Martinez, Sergeant Skelton, Sergeant Juarez, Sergeant Key, Sergeant Vasquez, and Sergeant Fandel. It's been a great privilege working with all of you. You always came into the office and gave me the no-kidding advice I needed to, gave me the mentorship from a perspective that maybe I didn't have before because you knew the airmen in the squadron better than anyone else. And you were able to provide that, which was instrumental. To my 2 senior enlisted leaders, Senior Master Sergeant Rez and now Senior Master Sergeant Cruz, they were also instrumental in our success here over the last 3 years, so I greatly appreciate that as well. And the fact that we've got a Senior Master Sergeant who's already done 22 years in the United States Air Force is now ready to go become a 2nd lieutenant because he's got more to give is just a phenomenal thing, and I couldn't be more proud of what he's going to go off and do as well. To 2 other honorable mentions, Major Kelsey Tarver, who couldn't be here today. Major Tarver was such a great DO that we sent her downrange to do a different job. She was doing the host nation coordination cell, and there was a brigadier general that stole her from me and said, no, she should be a squadron commander now. And she took command of the ELRS down there at IUD back in May. She's absolutely phenomenal. This squadron ran at a much higher level of efficiency when she was here, and I know she's going to go off and do great things. So Kelsey, if you're listening, just keep moving forward. You're going to be doing great things in the Air Force for us. And then Darlene. Where's Darlene? She likes to hide. Aha. Darlene. Darlene sits up in the CSS. She manages my calendar. She runs this squadron. If you didn't know that, yeah, you know that. She runs this squadron, and she takes on all the different tasks that come in to my office, to our office, and she handles them with grace. She goes out and finds the resources we need in order to take care of all of you. That's what she does best. She's trying to find a way to help you take care of your career, or take care of your families, or take care of your pay, or whatever the issue is. She does it very well. So Darlene, thanks for a great 3 years. It was awesome having you right outside the door, or working next to me every single day. To Monique and the family, Monique, I think I said this yesterday, but there were times when I'd walk through this squadron, I'd turn a corner, and you were just sitting there talking to some airmen or engaged in some event, and quite frankly, I didn't even know what was happening. So it seems like it turned out well. I appreciate everything you did, but it was a joint effort. This command tour was a joint effort, and I couldn't have done it without you, so I love you and thank you very much. And to the kids that understood that I was in a position where I had to spend at least as much time trying to help all the other airmen and members of this squadron as well. That might have taken time away from you. So I appreciate your patience, and I love you, and thanks for allowing me to do what I feel is still the greatest job that I've ever done. So thanks for that. And to Jerry, you're inheriting a great squadron. This is the best damn LRS there is. I'm not going to say Space Force, Air Flight, I don't care. This is the best LRS. This group of professionals will do amazing things, and they'll turn around, and in times of need, they'll take care of each other and get the job done at the same time. It's amazing. But I could not think of anyone else that I would rather have grab this guide on today and continue leading this team. So to you and Janelle and the boys, I hope you truly enjoy your time here at Vandenberg. You're going to be great for this squadron. I absolutely know it. I wish you all the best in that as well. So after 3 years and 3 weeks, I can tell you that it is true. Being a squadron commander is absolutely the best job in the Air Force. And the reason for that is all of you. Getting to know all of you, working beside all of you, and serving with all of you. So thank you for a great 3 years. I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Killian. At this time, the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron would like to recognize Mrs. Monique Killian for her gracious and unending support by offering her flowers as a token of our appreciation. like to take this opportunity to salute Lieutenant Colonel Killian one last time as a gesture of our respect and admiration for his leadership and vision.
What is that? What? Lieutenant, arms! Sir, has been honored. Order! Arms!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command. Attention to orders. Space Launch Delta 30, United States Air Force, Vandenberg Space Force Base, California, under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-604 and in accordance with Special Order 24-18. Lieutenant Colonel Jeremiah Alifocio is hereby appointed Commander of the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron, effective 26 July 2024. Signed, Mark A. Shoemaker, Colonel, United States Space Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Hurry! Head!
I am pleased to announce and introduce for the first time Commander, 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Jeremiah Alifocio.
Thank you very much. Morning. Mrs. and Colonel Shoemaker, distinguished guests, fellow squadron commanders, Chief, Sir Colonel Hatcher, Bestials, First Sergeants, family and friends watching from virtual land, and family here, of course, men and women of the 3rd LRS. Thank you all for being here. Your presence really means a lot to me and my family. To the team that put all of this together, Lieutenant Tran, Senior Airman Patterson, and everyone else that had a part in setting up this phenomenal ceremony, thank you so much for all the work and effort you guys put into it. Okay, well done. Richard Perry, if you're still around, wow, that was a phenomenal rendition. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Chaplain Nachidi, appreciate your thoughtful prayer and words of inspiration. Colonel Shoemaker, sir, thank you for the trust and confidence you have in me to lead the 30th LRS. I don't take this opportunity lightly, and I look forward to the challenge and working with you. Josh, it's remarkable how the twists and turns in life bring us full circle. Almost 17 years ago at Peterson Air Force Base, I stood at a crossroads, grappling with one of the toughest decisions of my life. Whether to continue my service in the Air Force or transition to the civilian workforce. That's when you enter the picture. Your sincere care and generosity completely altered the path of my Air Force journey. Much of what I have accomplished so far in the Air Force can be directly tied to the support that you provided. I am forever grateful for you. And even now, as I transition to my new role as the 30th LRS Squadron Commander, you continue to provide the same level of support and care to ensure that not only I'm ready to take on the squadron, but making sure that the squadron is taken care of. You've been incredibly generous with getting me up to speed, and it It's indicative of how much you care about the squadron, the mission, and the people. You're just an amazing person, leader, and friend. You're handing over a phenomenal team of professionals, and I promise you, we're going to continue building on all the great work you did leading the squadron. Thank you for everything. Janelle and I wish you and Mo and family the very best in your next adventure. Congratulations on a successful command tour. Congratulations on retirement, and thank you for 28 years of honorable service. To my wonderful wife, Janelle, I really appreciate everything you do for our family and for being by my side on this journey. Thank you for your love and patience over the years. I love you. To my boys, Jake, Jace, Josh, thank you for putting up with what has most definitely been the craziest move yet. I know things aren't getting any easier. You have learned to adapt and overcome in your unique ways in the face of adversity. I'm proud of you guys. I am fully indebted to multiple airmen, NCOs, senior NCOs, chiefs, first sergeants, civilian employees, peers, previous commanders, and mentors who have guided me along the way. I would not be standing here without all their support. And finally, to the Airmen, 30th LRS, I'm honored and humbled to join this amazing team. It is my goal to serve you to the best of my abilities and to continue doing great things with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Alafocio. On behalf of the men and women of the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron, we would like to present flowers to Mrs. Janelle Alafocio and welcome her as the newest member of the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron family. The 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron will now render its first salute to their new commander.
Squadron, hut! Reset, arms! Sir, 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron welcomes you. Order, arms!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the Space Force song and departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 30th Logistics Readiness Squadron Change in Command ceremony. Please join us for a reception at the Atlas Park as we welcome Lieutenant Colonel Alafocio and his family. Thank you for attending.